Let's document some things. Fishermen are out. This is a well-known spot. There's been documented sightings, activity in this area. I always mention that because most of the places I go have a history of Bigfoot activity going way back, and I can't stress that enough. And so I'm always looking for signs, something, you know, structure, any sort of evidence, footprints. And I put that together with the location, and a lot of times it makes sense to me. For instance, here we've seen this many times where they do, and who knows who did this, right? But here we got our fencing, and then our rock here is decorated, and looks like this happened a while ago because the brush that they're using is starting to dry up. And we have found structures where fresh either ferns or some sort of greens are either inside or outside of the structure, which I find fascinating. Here we got a few rocks propped on top, and I have found structures here before. That guy's stuck in the ground. We have a little glyph type thing going on here, possibly. I hope this is coming out in HD. And I'm just zooming by it right quick. I'm in the area. You can see some of the techniques also that they use, you know, the leans and the brush on top. We see that over and over. And I'm just checking for anything else, any other details, and I see that there's some tying going on here. Even these little, look at that, there's a little bit of sand on top with the stick here. And who knows, maybe kids after the fact or whatever. But here's I don't know if you'd call it an anomaly, but a repeated theme that we find in the woods, on the beaches, in the structures, is the use of yarn or some sort of string or something, and it's not serving any purpose really. Another rock and some stuff in there, some seaweed. We've seen them tie seaweed as well, and I'm not sure what exactly this stuff is, but I'm sure they got it from back here. And it's really thick, and there's some residential, some, I'm sure, $1 million homes right up in there, but it's very thick back here. And here you have the ocean. And I've also mentioned before that there's been a written account in a book of a Bigfoot being sighted swimming across some of these rocks looking for bird eggs, I had mentioned. Found that interesting, and I mean, I could go on and on about the encounters up on the highway further up. I mean, they've been hit with big rigs and road cross sightings. So here we have, maybe something was going on here before, I'm not sure, but as you can see here, we have our string again, which is very bizarre. Some more string there. And look at this. Looks like they're gonna make a little something here, also using string. There's our knot. So maybe there was something here. Things are always changing with these structures. Here's another bit of string wrapped around there. I think it was I'll go ahead and say his name, Cascade Bigfoot. Recently, I guess, came across some sort of teepee type structure, and they found rope wrapped around it. It looked very human to me, but they didn't really study the structure. And I think he might have mentioned that, I don't know, just because it had rope or string, that obviously it was human. Here we got some rocks stacked up and just a bunch of material. Doesn't look natural. I'm sure someone was playing around here. And I have found a structure on this rock here before, a very nice one. I actually questioned a gentleman about his views on it. It's no longer there. There is a trail back there that leads up. And anyway, back to the tying thing. Someone was collecting rocks, possibly. I think they're capable of doing that. They're capable of doing many things. Tying knots, using our material, our garbage, for their art. They use it as material as well, is what it seems like to me. It's just fascinating to find similar things here in the East Coast, Canada. All right, here we got our little fire pit. Sweet. See that? We find those in the woods as well. It's like these little rings of rocks. Looks like a fire pit almost. Some call them a false or fake fire pits. And people do frequent here. There's, you know, people here now. But what I'm trying to point out is that whoever's building these structures, look at that, they tend to have a similar style, although no structure is exactly the same. But there's certain things that stick out to me that I can relate with other people doing the same work. They could be nearby or far away or in a different environment. They could be in the desert, like desert Sasquatch. I mean, man, look at his terrain. It's completely different from mine. And a lot of things that he finds, it's different, but similar things. And check this out. We have a few leaners here. Sorry, I've been pointing the camera kind of at the ground, at the sand here, but take this for example. I've done a video explaining what leans are, and a lot of you who are into this already know what that is. But here we got 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are leans. And if you can't read that, then it's not gonna make sense to you. A lot of this stuff that we're trying to point out as far as structures and I guess evidence, possible evidence. And as you can see, this stuff has been broken off. This is some driftwood. Yeah, there's just a lot of things that are coming together for me that makes sense in what I'm doing, and I'm just glad to share that with you guys. And who knows, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm looking into it too much, but yeah, here we go. 10-minute mark. I'll go ahead and cut it here. Take care, folks.